If you're familiar with the twin flame journey, you know that it's not just about love in the traditional sense. It's about a powerful, often overwhelming connection between two souls that transcends time and space. A twin flame relationship is meant to help you grow and heal, but it also challenges you in ways that can be emotionally, spiritually, and mentally exhausting. One of the most difficult parts of this journey is when one twin, referred to as the runner, decides to reject their counterpart, the chaser. This rejection can feel like an emotional earthquake, and understanding the emotional landscape of the runner is crucial for healing both for the runner and the chaser. How does the runner feel during this period? What are they going through? And most importantly, how can both twins navigate this difficult phase in the journey? Stick with us as we dive deep into the emotional experience of the runner during twin flame rejection and gain a better understanding of what they go through. If you're on this journey, or if you're simply curious about twin flame dynamics, this video is for you. Before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us and helps us bring more valuable, insightful content straight to your feed. So let's get started and dive into the complexities of the runner's feelings when they reject their twin flame. Understanding the twin flame dynamic. Before delving into how the runner feels when they reject their twin flame, it's important to understand the twin flame connection itself. Twin flames are often described as two halves of the same soul. They are two individuals who share a profound spiritual and emotional bond. Meeting your twin flame is said to be a life-altering experience, one that can bring about rapid personal growth, emotional healing, and spiritual awakening. However, the twin flame relationship is rarely easy. The intense connection often brings up deeply buried emotions, insecurities, and unresolved trauma. This is where the runner-chaser dynamic comes into play. In most twin flame relationships, one twin will take on the role of the chaser, who desperately wants to move forward in the relationship, while the other twin becomes the runner, who feels overwhelmed by the intensity of the connection and pushes away. This dynamic can shift over time, but it typically starts with the runner feeling too much too fast and choosing to run rather than face the vulnerability and intensity the relationship demands. The runner may feel an overwhelming need to reject their twin flame due to emotional and spiritual reasons that they don't fully understand. Now, let's dive deeper into how the runner truly feels when they reject their twin flame. Emotional turmoil, the inner struggles of the runner. For the runner, rejecting their twin flame is rarely an easy decision. It is usually the result of intense emotional turmoil, confusion, and an internal battle between their heart and their mind. Let's take a look at the most significant emotional struggles the runner experiences when they push away their twin flame. 1. Overwhelmed by the intensity of the connection. One of the most common feelings a runner experiences when they reject their twin flame is an overwhelming sense of emotional and spiritual intensity. Meeting a twin flame is not like meeting a soulmate. It is a connection that reaches into the very core of your being. It is intense, raw, and transformative. For some people, this intensity is too much to handle. The runner may experience feelings of being overloaded by the connection. They may feel like they are being drawn into something they don't fully understand or are not ready for. This intense emotional and spiritual energy can feel chaotic, like a storm of feelings that they are unable to navigate. The runner may attempt to protect themselves by pushing their twin flame away, rejecting the connection in order to regain a sense of stability and control over their life. This feeling of being overwhelmed may cause the runner to retreat from the twin flame relationship, not because they don't care about their twin, but because they feel like they are losing themselves in the process of trying to handle the enormity of the connection. They might not know how to manage such powerful feelings and emotions, so they turn to rejection as a form of self-protection. 2. Fear of vulnerability. A twin flame relationship often demands vulnerability in ways that other relationships don't. This can be terrifying for the runner, especially if they have unresolved emotional wounds from their past. The fear of exposing one's true self, flaws, insecurities, and all, can be daunting. For many runners, opening up to their twin flame means confronting deep-seated fears of abandonment, rejection, and not being enough. They may have a history of emotional wounds or abandonment issues that make it difficult for them to trust fully in the love they feel. The thought of being vulnerable with someone who can mirror their deepest fears and wounds can be too much to handle. The runner may fear that by opening up, they will be hurt or rejected, just as they may have been in past relationships. In order to avoid this vulnerability, the runner pushes their twin flame away. The rejection is often a defense mechanism, a way of protecting themselves from the pain of vulnerability. Even though they may deeply love their twin flame, they are simply not ready to face the depth of intimacy and connection that the relationship requires. 3. Fear of losing themselves. Another reason the runner may reject their twin flame is the fear of losing their identity. Twin flames are not just romantic partners, they are mirrors of each other, reflecting both the light and the shadow aspects of one's personality. This can be overwhelming for the runner, as they may fear that merging with their twin flame will result in losing their sense of self. The runner may fear being swallowed by the relationship, losing their individuality, and becoming engulfed in the connection. Twin flames are often catalysts for deep transformation, and this process of transformation can be both beautiful and terrifying. The runner may fear that they will no longer be able to function as an independent individual, and they may reject the relationship in an attempt to hold onto their own identity. 4. Guilt and regret. After rejecting their twin flame, the runner often experiences intense guilt and regret. They may question their decision, especially as they reflect on the profound connection they share with their twin. The runner might feel that they have made a huge mistake by walking away from someone who truly understands them on a soul level. The guilt is often compounded by the awareness that their twin flame is likely suffering from the rejection. The runner may feel deeply conflicted, torn between the desire to be with their twin flame and the fear of what that would entail. They may also feel like they have hurt their twin flame, which creates a cycle of guilt and regret that is hard to break. 5. Loneliness and longing. Even though the runner may be the one to push their twin flame away, the rejection doesn't eliminate the emotional connection. The runner often experiences deep loneliness and longing after the separation. They may try to fill the void with other relationships, distractions, or material pursuits, but nothing seems to fully satisfy the aching hole that their twin flame has left in their heart. This sense of longing can be overwhelming. The runner may find themselves constantly thinking about their twin flame, missing them on a deep spiritual level. It is a form of emotional and spiritual homesickness, as the runner feels disconnected from the very person who holds the key to their soul's healing and growth. The longing only intensifies as the runner realizes that no matter how much they try to move on, they cannot forget their twin flame. The healing journey of the runner. The rejection of a twin flame is not the end of the journey. It is merely a phase that both twins must go through. For the runner, the healing process involves deep introspection, self-reflection, and personal growth. While it may seem like the runner is running away from the relationship, they are often running from themselves, fleeing from the internal work they must do in order to heal. Healing for the runner begins with facing their fears and emotional wounds. They must confront their past, release the pain and trauma that they've carried for so long, and learn to trust again. This process of healing takes time and cannot be rushed. The runner must go through a period of soul-searching, spiritual growth, and self-discovery before they can come back to the twin flame relationship. For the chaser, it is important to recognize that the runner's rejection is not a reflection of their worth. The runner's decision to pull away is more about their own fears and emotional struggles than it is about rejecting the chaser. The chaser must also focus on their own healing and personal growth, as this will help to create a space for the runner to heal and return when the time is right. The path to reunion. As both the runner and the chaser heal, they move closer to the eventual reunion that is the ultimate goal of the twin flame journey. However, this reunion can only happen when both twins are ready, not only individually, but as a unified whole. It is a process of divine timing and mutual healing. The runner's journey is not about avoiding the connection, it's about understanding it on a deeper level and learning how to embrace it without fear. When the runner finally overcomes their fears, heals their wounds, and learns to trust in the love they share with their twin flame, they will be ready to reunite. This reunion, when it happens, will be more powerful and harmonious than it could have been in the beginning. Both twins will have grown, healed, and evolved into better versions of themselves. Their connection will be stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with their higher purpose. Rejection in a twin flame relationship is not easy for either twin, but especially not for the runner. The runner experiences deep emotional turmoil, fear, guilt, and loneliness as they push their twin flame away. However, this phase is an essential part of the twin flame journey, one that leads to deep healing and spiritual growth. The runner's rejection is not a rejection of love, it is a reflection of their own inner struggles and fears. If you're the chaser, it's important to recognize that the runner's rejection is not personal. Instead, focus on your own healing, knowing that in time, both twins will find their way back to each other. Trust in the process, trust in divine timing, and trust that the journey is ultimately one of growth, love, and transformation.